Welcome back to CityLine. I'm Phaedra Redifer in for Amanda Westbrook today, and I'm delighted that you all stayed with us. We have a special treat today with our friends from Tacoma Little Theater, and I'd like to take this opportunity to introduce you to my friends on the comfortable couch. And we'll start first with Chris Serface. He is the Managing Artistic Director of Tacoma Little Theater. Welcome back.
Thank you very much.
And we are also joined by Andrew Fry, otherwise known as Ebenezer Scrooge, but Andrew Fry is the actor, Ebenezer Scrooge, in the Scrooge production this Christmas. So welcome, Andrew.
Thank you.
And we're also joined by Micheal O'Hara. He is the director of Scrooge. Welcome, gentlemen. I'm so excited for this segment. I'm sure we're in for a couple of treats along the way. So Chris and Micheal, this is a little bit to both of you. I'd like to first start out and find out, why was Scrooge picked this year for this holiday season?
What we try and do during the holiday season is always find a show that appeals to our audiences, that'll make them feel in the holiday spirit. And so we've come up with a catalog of shows that we kind of revisit every few years. And so Scrooge is one of those shows. We did it 4 years ago, and it's one that our audiences have continued to ask us to bring back. So this was the time to bring it back to celebrate our 100th year, which is all about our past and celebrating shows we've done before.
And Micheal, what does this mean for you to bring Scrooge back to all of us here in Tacoma?
Well, Scrooge is a great adventure for our audience to see the transformation of so many people that we see in real life. That we get complicated aspects of our lives and we're able to bring newness to someone that we see that may not be enjoying the kindness and joy of the season. So Scrooge really is an opportunity to show that in real terms of how we can bring joy and love back into the daily routine of our lives.
And I know that we've had Tacoma Little Theater here with us many, many times over the course of the years, and clearly we have some pretty amazing homegrown artistic talent in our very own Tacoma community. There's no reason to leave the city limits. So tell us a little bit about how you picked the cast and crew.
Well, it's an exciting time for a director. You have a bunch of people auditioning for roles that they have probably seen on stage before and that they're excited to try out for. And as a director, it's an adventure to match people appropriately with the music, so their voice qualities will be at their fullest, to bring life and excitement into the dancing, so there's talent in that respect. But then you bring a cast together that then becomes a family. And so you want the people to really enjoy their time, have fun since it is a community production, and really get through the season and through the show with a feel of embodiment of joy, and that they've grown and that they've been able to actually grow as characters and as people as well.
And I imagine there's a great community that's being built on the stage with all the rehearsals. Ebenezer, can you tell us a little bit about what the rehearsal schedule is like and potentially how demanding it is too, especially at this time of the year?
And be nice to me.
Oh, no problem at all. And in fact, that's part of the enjoyment as well. You find out well ahead of time that you're going to be able to do something like a character like Scrooge or be in a show like Scrooge the Musical, and so you get a chance to see the script, you'll get a chance to see the music and so on. And for this particular rehearsal process, which is what was wonderful, large cast, but we concentrated on the music. So Zachary Kellogg helped get us together, made sure that for all of those wonderful choral pieces that everyone knew their part and blended well together, and we spent many hours on each of those songs. And once we had those songs down, then Eric Clausel came in and taught some choreography to us. And Eric's a fantastic choreography. I remember seeing him on stage for the first time and I went, oh man, what a dancer. And then to turn out to be the choreographer as well, that was great. And then working with Micheal is fantastic because he allows us to get the music down, to get the actual dances in, and then strings it together. And that's when we do the table talk to get a better sense of the essence of the scenes and the actors and everything else. And then of course we put it all together on stage with a fantastic set and a lot of great sound and light cues. It's
and
really
a great
process.
Crew
a wonderful crew
behind the scenes that really bring to life that work.
And a great thing about Tacoma Theater is that you end up doing shows with a lot of people you've known over the years. You love seeing the new faces, and then you love working with folks that you've done a show or two with in the past as well.
Yeah.
So not to give any bit of the Scrooge production away, but Chris and Andrew, do you have just a little sneak peek that you could quickly share with us?
Absolutely.
Sure, when you show up.
Yep, it's when Christmas present arrives.
Okay.
After the stroke of.
Yes. 2 o'clock. The second comes at 2. I'm ready for you. I'm not afraid. I'm not afraid.
Ebenezer Scrooge! Come here, Scrooge. I'm waiting for you.
Hello? Jacob Marley, is that you?
No, it's not.
Who are you?
I am the spirit of Christmas present. Look upon me, for you've never seen the likes of me before.
Never.
And yet, how many of my brothers have you turned away in your miserable lifetime?
Good sir, I've never met your brothers.
You have never even looked for them.
How many of them are there?
What year is this?
1843.
Then I have 1,842 brothers. This year it's my turn. Each year one of us visits this puny little planet to spread happiness and joy, and to rid the world of the causes of human misery, which is why I've come to see you, Ebenezer Scrooge.
What do you want from me?
You're a funny-looking little man. I must admit I found it hard to believe when my brothers told me how horrible you'd be, but now that I see you for myself, I see they were understating the truth.
I assure you, sir, I'm a man of the highest principles and the most generous spirit.
Generous spirit? You don't know the meaning of the phrase, but you're about to find out.
Fabulous. That is wonderful. That is some first-class acting, and I appreciate you giving all of us a little snippet of what we can expect, and we'll talk a little bit more as to how we can get tickets to Scrooge, because I do believe that it started showing December 7th, and it's all the way through December 30th, so
Correct.
we're going to want to make sure that we have all those important pieces of information to get tickets. Fabulous job. So, Chris, obviously Scrooge is not the only thing that you all do over at Tacoma Little Theater. What's next for the season?
We have 4 more shows in our 100th season. We'll be starting 2019 off with Ibsen's A Doll's House, which is in rehearsals now. Then last night, we're doing callbacks for our next production after that, A Little Night Music, which is a great Stephen Sondheim musical, which we did in 1997. Then the last 2 shows of our season are a great noir classic, Laura, which is one of those that has you just guessing what's happening in this story. A story of murder and intrigue. And then we close out our season with Noel Coward's comedy classic, Hay Fever, which is going to be a lot of fun. It's very British and very witty.
I love it. There's always something going on at Tacoma Little Theater, and I know it's not just about the performances and productions that you offer up to the community, but educational programs are also a staple of Tacoma Little Theater. So, Chris, can you tell us a little bit more about the education program?
We have a year-round education program right now. We're enrolling for our winter classes, which include both classes for school-aged children and also for adults. We have some after-school programs, a homeschool program, a junior actor program, a dance program. And then this year for adults, starting in January, we'll have an audition for the adult program and also an improvisational workshop for adult actors.
I love it. Thank you so much. That is so great. And Michael, tell us a little bit about the 100th anniversary party in the last few minutes that we have.
It's an exciting time for the theater because of the history of Tacoma Little Theater starting 100 years ago. To have an institution continue to bring to the community a value to live stage, education, and just bring that life to a city that has been around for a long time as well. To have Tacoma Little Theater be a part of that 100 years, that we really want to value all of those steps of that theater and the importance of that theater through those 100 years.
And that's going to be an event on February 16th. So there'll be more
16th.
details on our website about that.
Correct.
Perfect. Always something to check into. And so how is the chair campaign going?
Chair campaign's going fantastic. What was the latest numbers that we had?
We're just about 120 chairs so far. We're a little over halfway of our goal, and that is something that we're looking forward to hopefully happening in about a year, where the auditorium will go through an entire reseat and remodel, and it'll be a much more comfortable environment for our audiences and our patrons to come into and experience the art of live theater and other things that we have come through the building.
And another great way that our community really demonstrates back to Tacoma Little Theater as to how valued the theater is and all the work that it does, and certainly all the enriching types of productions and performances that we can see.
Correct.
And most importantly, too, that we can grow young thespians and artists up through the theater, and then hopefully they'll continue to stay in Tacoma and we'll continue to see them on stage.
And we do see that, yes.
That is great. And so when will you all announce the next season?
Our next season will be announced in March, which will be our 101st season. And we're right now working under the premise of a season of firsts. So there'll be some exciting things coming to our stage that maybe you haven't seen on our stage before.
And I have to go back to the chair campaign really quick. So once those chairs are actually then installed in, will the theater go dark at all, or will that quick work be done, or what will happen with that?
We've just met with our architects this week to kind of determine a timeline and how exactly we're going to do it. There may be a period where we won't go dark, but we might do a show or two at an alternate site while we're ripping everything out and starting anew.
Great. And then Chris, also, I know that you're managing director, but you also perform. How do you do both? How is that even possible? I know you have a lot of energy, but how is that possible?
You find the projects that you're passionate about, and you choose to do those ones. I love what I do for the day at the theater, and then when the right role comes along that I'd like to audition for, I have an affinity for Scrooge. It's my 5th time doing the show, and I wanted to audition for this one, and so I auditioned, and I'm glad to be playing the Ghost of Christmas Present yet once again.
I love it. You all just do a phenomenal job. And Michael, I just want to make sure that before we round out this segment that we all know, are there tickets still left? Where do we go and get tickets, and how can we help donate to Tacoma Little Theater?
Absolutely. Tacoma Little Theater's website is the best way to get tickets for our show. It's selling very quickly, and so the quicker you can get on the site and reserve your tickets, you can also call the box office. That is a great way to find out what seats are available. And we run through this month. What are some special dates that we had?
We've also added some extra performances because it was selling so well. So we have the 26th and the 27th. So if you're looking for things to do after the holiday, you can certainly come and see us on that Wednesday and Thursday night at 7:30. And then we usually run Fridays and Saturdays at 7:30 and Sundays at 2.
And what I love the most is that you all did actually react to the community demand. There are more performances that we can all take advantage of. And at the same point in time, in my opinion, it's always nice to give an experience or share an experience as a Christmas gift.
Absolutely.
Than actually opening up a present. I think being able to share something so special with a loved one or a friend is very, very powerful. And I can't think of a better way than to really book that calendar or book that date on your calendar and come and see all of you at Tacoma Little Theater. So that is just absolutely fantastic. And other than supporting the performances, clearly they can also go on the website, learn more information as to how they can help donate to Tacoma Little Theater.
Donate education system information is always there. How we can participate within the theater, front stage, backstage, on stage.
That is wonderful. Well, congratulations to you both. All the hard work that you're putting in behind the scenes is very evident with just the little sneak peek that you gave us today. So I certainly encourage all of us to get those tickets and come out and support Tacoma Little Theater. So you're not going to want to miss this last segment today. We're bringing back Stephanie Ann Johnson. You might remember she was a contestant on The Voice. She is homegrown, local Tacoma talent, and I'm sure most of you have seen her. So saddle in. We've got one more segment to go, and we'll have some nice conversation and a special treat also from Stephanie Ann Johnson. We'll be right back.